replan all of this. Boom, go.
Hi everyone. I don't know if you can hear us. I don't know if the mic's working or not, but we'll find out. I'm Katie.
I'm Nicole.
And we're just here to have a chat. And if you want to join in or ask us any questions, you feel free.
How do you see no one?
No one's on there at the moment.
No one's on there.
No, but this is our little microphone thingy, so I
just muted
whether
it.
it's actually working.
No, it's working.
It's
now.
working. It's working. But I don't know how well you can hear us. Maybe Barry can take over.
I can't see that you're live yet. I'm still trying to see.
There's one person. Hi. Hi, whoever you are. We're just here to have a chat and see how it goes. Lately, we've been talking about all kinds of topics, from gender to coronavirus to religion.
Well, that's the only thing actually going on at the moment is Corona. Can't hear anything different.
True. But I'm just wondering if this is actually going to work, to be honest, to see, because we're just going to do audio for today and see how it goes, see if it runs. And
it must be working because we've got one person.
Yeah.
Hopefully not one of our parents.
If you want to say anything, jump into the comments or chat to us.
It's probably Josh.
Is it? But yeah.
Have you got the live chat switched on?
Yeah, I've got the live chat switched on. If you go onto our channel, is it there?
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying.
I'm really trying.
I'm rooting. Even on this, I can hear him.
No, it's just a waiting game. See if it happens. Well, a good solid 88 people are still here. So
we're winning on something. We
just
want to make enough money for a chair.
Yeah, we've also got Barry streaming from LiveMe to talk to us as well.
And he's going to hop on YouTube as well.
Yeah. He's going to try and find us.
Trying.
Will our channel be on the link, guys? I think I sent you the link for our channel to see if you can find us through that way.
That was an Instagram, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. How would I get that onto my iMac? Is the question.
You can log into Instagram on your Mac. You can log into Instagram on Chrome. On my Mac, I do it for work sometimes.
I wouldn't know.
So I upload straight from there.
Alright. Let's get on Instagram.
He's really trying.
Thanks, Barry.
All right, so we're going to continue anyway, and we're going to see if that actually does work. If it does, I'm sure that we can get you all to jump over and find us. Maybe subscribe if you do want to see when we go live. We will be doing.
We are live.
No, I mean in the future.
Oh.
But if you want to see when we go live in the future, we will still be doing LiveMe and we'll still be on here. But it'll be interesting to find out if anyone does jump on over.
I'd love to know who's interested enough to listen for 3 minutes and 11 seconds of us just not knowing what we're doing. Literally says we're talking, but we're not talking about anything
specific. No.
Yeah.
I just want to know if they can actually hear us very well, because the actual bar for the microphone is quite low. Like it's only on one green dot, so I'm wondering if the mic's here.
Oh.
So.
I can hear you.
Can you?
Are you? Wait, it's only showing up as one person.
It's pretty good quality, isn't it? It's all right.
There you go.
He probably can just hear himself because he's right next to the mic. Oh, 2 people.
Yeah, he joined us.
Barry. We should have put. I told you we should have put featuring Barry.
We didn't know if we used his real name or not. We didn't know. We didn't want to ask either. Oh, we can put you in our next title.
Yeah.
It took me long enough to set up this one.
Or shall we just start it again?
Should we start it again?
Yeah, let's start it again. Right, he knows where it is.
He's just found us. He's like, oh Christ.
Yeah, but for 4 minutes, this is going to sound ridiculous.
It says you've got 2 people watching, and I'm one of them, so you've definitely got one other person.
Yeah, Christy B.
Okay, all right, let's leave
Christy
it.
B.
Hey!
Hi. She said hello.
Have you got any questions? Anything you want to talk about?
We're still going to be reading the comments on LiveMe as well, so we're still here.
There's no one on LiveMe. It's all fake people.
Well, she found us somehow.
Yeah.
It's just just gonna be us
Alright,
laughing for a
so-
good solid hour.
Going back to what you were talking about before, then, what other things really annoy you?
Oh,
Everything.
everything. People annoy me in general.
Humans.
Job
Job interviews. Because you have to be so fake. And
Yeah, you
nowadays,
do.
they're absolutely ridiculous. I had to do I tried and got declined, but I tried a job interview and the maths that you had to do in it was ridiculous. But what made me think, if you had learning disabilities, someone would not be able to do that. And I think that's so unfair to be able to not show your full potential because of having to do a stupid questionnaire like that.
Yeah.
I think it's really unfair.
A maths test kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of people that are applying for sort of, for example, retail jobs, they're people that are coming straight out of school. So the maths is still in their heads. Like, I know that when I came out of school, I could have probably done the maths test. But now, 5 years down the line, I don't think I could. I don't think I remember
No.
half the questions that they asked
When I was
you.
doing these questions, they were literally like school questions.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But it's tailored for people that are coming out of school
Not
that are young.
necessarily, because you
into
go to a
retail.
supermarket and there's a lot of middle-aged people working.
Yeah, but a lot of them people have redone their maths and English GCSEs.
Mm.
A lot of them have.
Some of them are parents because it works around the
The school hours, yeah.
But I think it's really unfair. Really unfair.
And did they wait till, like, did they actually do that at the interview, or did you get a
No,
like
that's
a
just
questionnaire
the
thing to do?
application online before you even get an interview.
Yeah, that's it.
But then again, I don't understand that anyway, because you can have people actually like helping you with the online ones. So how does it actually test your math skill when you could easily just have someone take it for you?
I can't remember who it was that I applied for, but it had a countdown timer on the aptitude test that it made me do. And it was like really, really impossible question. I think it was like for Royal Mail or someone like that. It's just like really, really hard questions, like pointlessly hard questions for putting letters through people's doors. But yeah, I don't know. It's getting more common, isn't it? Trying to test you before you get to the interview stage, I suppose.
Well, it's to rule out people that they don't want to
Yeah.
interview. And I think that it's quite unfair because some people could be really good in the customer service realm,
Yeah.
and yet they might not do as well on a maths test.
People with
And yet the maths test, if you're, for example, you are going into retail, you're stocking shelves, that's not necessarily to do with the maths questions that
Yeah,
you're being asked
and
anyway.
on the checkout, it tells you all the maths and the numbers afterwards.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to know.
Proper maths,
Yeah.
like hard maths questions to be able to do the job. So it's
Yeah.
just a bit ridiculous, really. But
I'm sure it's Royal Mail that I've had it before.
It is
But yeah,
normally-
when you get the chance, go and try and apply to work for Royal Mail and see if you get the same test. It's like ridiculously hard.
I didn't even know you needed to do a test for Royal Mail.
Yeah.
and yet they still can't
It's
find my
like-
door number.
Probably
And yet they still can't find my door number. It's great.
why they don't have
Oh,
a test.
At the moment, though, Amazon have been quite good. They've been leaving my packages outside the door. Like, they'll ring the doorbell, but they'll take a step back. Like, they'll move away from the door because of this whole coronavirus situation.
Yeah.
They'll actually move away from the door, which I think just shows respect. Like, it's not a bad thing.
Well, they're probably doing it
There
for
are
their own safety.
There are some people that just throw the parcel at the door, I swear, and that's what the knock on the door is. Because sometimes I don't even hear it. But yeah, I think taking a step back and sort of acknowledging that there is a crisis right now, and I think that's quite nice to have.
Mm.
Who is it? Who delivers for Amazon?
I don't know.
Is it DHL?
I don't know. I
Maybe
just normally have an
DHL, but
Amazon
I'm not
truck turn
100%
up.
sure. I know Hermes used to be really, really useless, but they've got lots better recently. Yodel aren't very good.
I've seen that meme on Facebook where the different parcels are delivered.
Just
and, yeah.
chucking them at the door.
But I swear sometimes they don't even knock. You'll get a little
I know.
leaflet through your door or whatever, and they won't have even knocked.
But that's probably because of the amount of pressure
This
they're
was
under.
before, though. This was before the virus or anything
Yeah.
like that happened. They just throw it at you.
Yeah.
and run.
The amount of pressure they're under.
Start doing drones.
Yeah, I saw that.
There was a guy walking his dog with a drone the other day.
I know.
Did you see that on Facebook?
Really?
Yeah.
That's mad. Have you seen the things in Milton Keynes as well? Like little robot things that deliver stuff like down the street.
Yeah, and it says if you find me knocked over or tipped over, please pick me up.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? I've only seen them in Milton Keynes though.
I haven't actually seen them around here. I've seen them online and stuff like that. But yeah, it actually says if you see me tipped over, please pick me up.
What are they delivering?
I don't know, but they open up. Like it turns up like a little robot and it just opens up with your package inside.
I didn't even know that.
It's like a mini square. It's like a little square on wheels that like carries shopping bags and stuff like that. It's like a basket on wheels with eyes. It's really
Yeah.
strange. But yeah,
It's a good
quite
idea,
cool,
but on the other hand, can you imagine how many people are going to lose their jobs?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But at the same time, in
Maybe
this
we'll call
crisis,
that
it's pretty
fair
good. Because people can't actually deliver. And if they do, they're taking a risk.
Yeah, that is true.
Someone's still got to put the thing to the shopping bag though.
Yeah,
Into
someone's
the-
still got,
you know
and
what I
someone's
mean?
still got 'em- that opens up doors for people that do electrics and stuff like that to actually fix the robots.
Well,
and
it depends
them.
if they have
They've all
robots
got
fixing the
driven by some-
robots.
yeah,
Someone's got to drive it.
yeah.
The cameras that are on them and stuff like that. But yeah, I suppose it does take. It's probably quicker than delivery drivers, though, isn't it?
And a lot better for the environment. You haven't got big
Yeah.
trucks going out.
Yeah, it's interesting. But I didn't know what they were the first time I put them. Like, I was a bit freaked out by it. But they're quite cool, aren't they?
I think
But I had
they're
to ask someone in my teens what they were.
But what other things really get on my nerves? What other things can we think of? They're just really irritating.
Calories.
That's not-
Calories, because I love chocolate and these calories are getting right on my nerves at the moment. Right on my nerves. And the gym's closing.
How many calories? Do you try and count how many you have a day and stuff like that?
I suppose you do more than me. I'm sort of just more of like a. I've been looking at my portion sizes since all this shit happened.
Yeah.
But I don't really count the calories in things. I don't really.
I went through a phase of it.
I suppose when it's
Tried
on
to
the
have like
when it's like on the package in front of you and you sort of see that it's red. You know, like they've got like a red symbol
Yeah.
or green symbol
Well,
or orange.
it's easy now because you've got apps that you can literally just scan them on.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so easy.
But I don't think I've
Yeah.
scanned in a long time. Like I don't think I've actually even paid attention to it
Yeah.
for quite a while.
But you look at it, then you panic.
I guess so, because it's just, and some of the actual calories are like so disproportionate to like what the actual item is.
Yeah.
Like you could have a whole like big giant bowl of broccoli for the same amount of calories that are in a Kit Kat. Like the actual,
Do you eat a whole bowl of broccoli?
I have a whole bowl of
I could
sweet
eat a
corn
whole
and stuff
bowl of
like that. Yeah, I could eat a whole bowl of broccoli.
I could not eat a whole bowl of broccoli unless it was covered in gravy.
I'm not an avid
I reckon
gravy
I-
lover.
I love gravy. Gotta have
I love
gravy.
gravy as well. I'm nothing, so it's kind of a given.
I like
really.
gravy on roast dinner, but I like dipping chips in gravy.
I could drink
But
gravy.
I can't put gravy on like everything, like some people do.
Oh, I could. I love gravy.
Even on pasta.
Yeah,
I know
I
people
haven't
that put,
tried it.
I know people that put gravy on pasta.
gravy on pasta.
Yeah, it's becoming a thing.
Is it? I've
Yeah.
never heard of that.
We'll have to all try it.
Yeah, no, but we're gonna try that.
I'd try it, but it doesn't sound that appealing. It's like when when cheese on chips became a thing, and then people started putting cheese and chips and beans
Oh, I
together.
don't like
and then
beans
some
on
people tried
chips.
cheese, chips, and gravy, and
Yeah, but
the cheese just.
I don't. The
floats
reason I
into
don't like
bits.
beans on chips is because it makes them soggy.
Yeah, but wouldn't that just be
If I
like
had, like-
potato? Like jacket potato,
Yeah, but
and
I
it's
don't
similar.
know because I can't like mash the sauce in with the potato, and it just
'Cause it
makes it,
hasn't got the
soggy.
skin.
Yeah, it's soggy. I don't know. I just can't. The texture's too weird for me, to be honest.
I
But
don't know
another,
about chips, cheese, and gravy though.
I like cheesy chips, but I eat vegan cheese anyway, so I'm a weirdo anyway. But I like cheesy chips.
What about vegan-A's? You could have vegan-A's cheese. Vegan-A's,
Yeah,
vegan cheese.
your vegan A's.
I do have
That
vegan. I
none
do have
believes is
vegan.
true.
I do have vegan mayo on chips. Like, or I'm not one of these people though. I hate. This is a pet hate of mine, where people put ketchup and they just put it all over the chips.
Don't.
I'm one of these people that has to have my ketchup or mayonnaise in the corner, and it's not actually covering
Yeah.
the whole entire thing. I think the proportion of like ketchup to chip is too much. Then
Yeah, you have to dip.
yeah, I'm a complete dipper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can't enjoy
Well, we all
it.
agreed on that, but then
Yeah,
100%
definitely.
agree.
Yeah,
you just
100%
spread the
agreed.
ketchup everywhere, you're a lunatic.
yeah. You just it just looks like you're squirting blood on the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I just can't deal.
And I don't like what's it called, burger sauce,
Yeah,
even though it's mayo and ketchup.
but you
but-
like mayo and ketchup mixed
Yeah.
together. Yeah, same.
I can't have burger sauce. It's
Is
just
it
not mayo and
true?
ketchup.
Is it true that what is it? Tomato sauce and I don't know if it's mayonnaise or tartar sauce mixed together makes Thousand Island dressing.
That's the same as
So you got
burger
the, like,
sauce.
prawn-
No, it's not.
Burger sauce and prawn cocktail sauce are basically the same
Yeah.
thing. It is. He's
Yeah,
on about
yeah.
the same thing. Like
What's-
prawn cocktail sauce is mayonnaise and ketchup put together,
Yeah.
but they add like herbs and stuff into it.
What's tartar sauce got to do
Tartar
with it?
sauce is like a type. It's like a mayonnaise
That's
type
that's
of
for fish.
sauce.
Tartar
Yeah,
sauce.
it's like a mayonnaise
I
type thing,
love
but
tar-
it's more bitter.
I like tartar sauce. I'd have that with cod.
It's more bitter, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll have it. I can't have
Tartar sauce
too
and
much
ketchup
of it.
Yeah.
all together.
It's one of them things where you have to dip the corner in. Like you can't have it like smothered in.
Oh God, no,
Smothered in it,
no.
like, yeah.
A little bit, a little proportion of it.
Same thing in it. You can't cover it. You just gotta have it at the side. I
Yeah,
completely agree.
but I mean, I've always been that person that doesn't like. When I was a kid, I used to be really fussy about my peas touching my mashed potato
Oh, you're
and
one of
different
them.
things like
I
that.
don't like mash.
It doesn't actually like bother me as an adult. Like I can have anything on a plate and I know that it's all going to get mixed up in my stomach anyway. But as a kid, I didn't like it. I liked it all to be in its own little corner. Like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have to be on a separate plate or anything.
Yeah.
But I just wouldn't. I'm not one of them people that even with spaghetti bolognese, I know a lot of people like to mix in the pasta with their bolognese.
Yeah.
But I'm one of these people that likes their bolognese in the middle and then the pasta like.
I like
Around?
that now, but it might be a
About
maturity thing. Like when I
Yeah.
was younger, I would just mush it all together. But now I like it in the middle, and
yeah.
I'll do my little spoon.
Spoon and then
yeah.
you get your pasta and then you get a little bit of sauce.
Yeah.
I don't like it all mixed in.
Yeah. No, agreed on that.
That's got to have some psychological meaning behind it. Like you must like separate in things in your mind in a similar way or something. There's got to be some kind of
Looking at my room, I don't. Looking at my room, I don't. I guess I am a very separate person though, because even looking at my desk now, I've got my books on one side together. I haven't got it all separate. Like, I pair things together, I guess.
But a book thing is to pair.
I guess, but
You
even
pair
then,
books.
even in the same instance, like I'll have, I don't know, all my plants put up in one corner. I won't just have them like decoratively put around.
It's a bit of a jungle in here at the moment.
What I mean, it's
Like, I
like
feel like I'm in the
fruit corner, and you've got to
Amazon.
have your section.
Sorry, say that again.
Said it's like Muller Fruit Corner, isn't it? You've got to have your little section for everything
Yeah.
rather than have it all just in weird.
Like you're like they're like yogurts. They do the same like vegan ones as well, but they have like this like triangle
We
thing.
get it. You're vegan.
They have this like triangle thing that you tip
What's
in.
the vegan one called? Has it got a stupid name like Vegan A's or?
No, I think it's is it Daya?
I wouldn't know.
Or there's what's the vegan yogurt? Yo something. It's like I can't remember now. I can't remember.
Yoli.
I can't remember. It's just
Yogurt.
vegan yogurt. I know where it is on the shelf, but I can't remember what it's called. That's really bad on my brain. I can't remember what it's called. I don't really buy yogurt. I'm not a very yogurt fan.
I love
I
yogurt.
don't really like yogurt that much, but then it's probably because it's vegan.
No, I love yogurt.
What did he even make vegan yogurt out of? Like
Grass.
nuts of some kind again.
I have never even had a look. I have never even checked what it is in it. It just says vegan on the packet, so I'm like, okay, that's mine.
As long as it says vegan, it's good for me.
Yeah. I'm an unhealthy vegan
Fair
though, I think. I think I am more of like a convenience person anyway. Like even with food in general, I love to cook, but it has to be a simple recipe. I love to make pasta bolognese or even like fake tuna pasta or
Pasta gravy.
yeah, like, it has to be like a simple recipe, but yeah, I can cook a variety of things. Like I have the corn chicken pieces and I'll put new potatoes with them and mushrooms and tomatoes and have like peppercorn sauce, but I'll still like it's a nice meal to have, but it's not hard to make. But I guess I'm more convenient than anything else.
I'll just go down to McDonald's. Big Mac meal done.
Yeah, but you like your pasta as well.
Have you
Oh, I
tried
love
the-
pasta.
Have you tried the veggie goujons?
Oh, they're
Called
shit.
McDonald's?
Absolute shit. Fucking horrible.
What's your issue with them?
Sorry?
What's your issue with what are they called? Vegetable goujons or whatever they are?
I don't know. I think they taste rubbish. Like they're just trying like.
I tried some of your like if we've gone down to the Harvester, I've tried your veggie burgers and fake chicken. I don't think it tastes like chicken.
No, but I don't like the taste of meat. So for me, that's
You
a bonus.
used to though.
I never really liked the.
When was the last time you had a bacon sandwich?
Yesterday, but it's bacon.
Oh, so bacon doesn't count?
Well, no, it's fake bacon.
No, I mean like real bacon or like when was the last time you went to KFC or whatever?
I've been probably vegan for about 2-3 years now, but before that I was vegetarian. Like I was raised vegetarian, and then in sort of my teens I went into like a rebellious phase. I can't remember how long ago it would have been. It would have been at least 2-3 years ago now that I had like meat or anything like that.
You just went off the rails and started going to Burger King.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it wasn't just that, it's that my granddad and my nan, they weren't vegetarian or anything, but my mum was. So my mum raised me, but we would go round to their house and we would always have separate meals at my granddad's house, and I always wanted to try what he was cooking.
So what about Christmas Day?
We always had our own tofurkey and we would have all the vegetables and sides and stuff like that, but we just wouldn't have any of the meat stuff. So it'd be like a roast dinner, but without the turkey or chicken.
Leaving you out without it being your choice in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Mum always gave me the choice. She always said if you want to try it, you can, but she always explained to me that it did come from an animal. She wanted me to be aware of where any of my food came from. She said, this is a farm, this is what a farm is, this is where we grow fruit and vegetables. We also have pigs, chickens and cows here. And I was a stable gal, so like I always used to go to the horse riding school, and the horse riding school was right next to the farm. And we used to go, and when we used to muck out the horses' stalls, we used to go over to the farm and we'd muck out the pig stalls and stuff like that. It was a little family run farm. But as I got to sort of, just more as a teenager that I worked on the farm and stuff, but as I got to sort of 14, 15, the animals were becoming up to like 2 years old, and that's sort of when they go off, in at least on this farm's case, that's when they went off to slaughter. And I always sort of went, oh, like why is like the pig that I had known
I would look at it differently.
not around?
Because when I worked on a farm and the pigs would go off to slaughter, I'd look at it like they've had a good life here, instead of being, I would always choose to eat organic any day over being in, I don't know what it'd be called, you know.
Yeah, but then, so we're getting really into a vegan topic now, but you get that little red tractor and it's farm certified and all this stuff on packaging and that it's organic and all this stuff. I looked into what it actually meant for a farm to be organic. So there was an actual article, and I think I'm sure that if I looked, I could find the link to the actual study for you. But it was 2 farms that were next door to each other. They both had near enough the same size amount of land, but one cow shed had, I think it was chicken shed, sorry. One chicken shed had, I think it was like 1 acre more land than the other farm. The 1 acre more land that the chickens didn't even get to use was called organic, and yet the farm that didn't have that space was not organic. And the only reason that a farm can apply for an organic license is because they have more space. Now, that doesn't mean that the animals get to use that space. It just means that that space is there on the farm and is optional. So there is a really big line between an actual organic farm that can label itself as organic and a farm that does actually genuinely raise its animals as organic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think
and to me,
obviously different kinds of farm, isn't there?
There is
Yeah,
different. There's nice,
exactly.
there's, like
And
anything.
then
There's
there's
nice
farmers who
people in the
care
world,
for
and there's
the
horrible
animals,
people in the
and
world.
Even
There's
though they
people
get
that.
slaughtered at the end, like you say, if you give them a good life, you can only be happy with that, can't you? And you're still making money
But
and
then
running a business.
again, would you as a person, like I don't care what your answer is to this, everybody is entitled to be vegan or not vegan. I never push veganism on anybody. But at the same time, I always want to ask the question, if you were that chicken, that pig, that cow, that was just in a normal classic industrialized farm, because that is the majority of what we have. I'm not talking about the little old man that raises chickens. I'm not talking about the little old lady that has pigs and cows, or nice little farms that we're talking about, because that's not sustainable for a big population. I'm talking about the factory farming. Would you be happy in that life just because you got to live in a cow shed and you were with your friends? Would you be happy having your baby taken away because the milk was needed for people? Would you be happy if just because you got to live for 60 days and have a theoretically nice life because there wasn't abuse or anything like that, we're going to exclude any of that stuff out of the way? Would you be happy knowing that you have had 60 days and you go in a truck and you know this is your last ride? Would you be happy going and seeing your friends killed and your family killed? Because they're not kept separate. They're in a it's called a run. It's like a run where the cows and sheep and pigs get pushed through and get basically round up off the truck, and they walk through, and the next cow can see the first cow being killed. Would you, as a human, even if it was done nice, even if you had a nice life, would you enjoy that way of death or not? Or would you be happy with that way of death?
Of course not, but
Well, you kind of applying human consciousness to cows. Like, in their situation when they're in a field, they don't know what's coming after 60 days. Like, you're kind of implying, like, they're just happy in a field. The thing about
But
taking
the thing that I see, I think that's where it comes down to a line though of my beliefs versus your beliefs. Because at the same time as you're saying that they don't realise.
I agree. Like, if you look at steak or whatever in a supermarket, you'll see lots of white bits in it, and that apparently is lactic acid where they were stressed before they died. So the less of the white stuff, the more calm the animal was. And if you go in a lot of supermarkets, it's like you can tell the animals were really, really stressed because they were lined up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, yeah, there are other but I trust butchers way more than I trust supermarkets, and I always have. But
the reason that this goes a little bit off topic, but the reason that I don't trust butchers is that I know from a friend's personal experience that they have told me about, and I fully believe that this is what actually happened when they went to get meat from a butcher's. They went into the butcher's. This butcher was a family friend of theirs, and they were going to collect some meat for their family. And they went in, and the butcher, literally in front of them, because they were just a family friend, they weren't just a customer, he got a piece of meat, and it had a tumour on it. And they just slice it off. Now, there's no FDA law, there's nothing to protect that from happening. And he just cut the tumour off, threw it in the bin, and still sold that piece of meat. Now, to me, that's wrong. To me, even if I was an avid meat eater and I ignored the whole animal ethical side of everything, I wouldn't want to be eating a piece of meat that had a tumour in it, whether that tumour was cut off or not.
But that's on the butcher.
No, but we just went on to butcher's side.
Yeah.
And it does happen a lot more than people think.
The person.
If they hadn't have done that in front of the people, you'd never know.
But is ignorance bliss?
Yes.
It depends if it affects the taste. I don't know. Like, if you eat, what is it that's got the, what's that fish that's got the poo still in it? Is it crabs? I can't remember. Something when you bite into it, it's got like a brown string all the way through it.
Shrimp.
It might be prawns.
Yeah, prawns.
Yeah, prawns when they're in the shell, innit? Yeah.
See, I've never really liked fish anyway, even when I wasn't.
No, I like fish.
Don't really like fish. But going back to the sort of animals being like, they have actually done studies and stuff like that. I'm not saying whether it's true or false. This is just what my personal belief is. But they've done studies where pigs have the same intelligence as a 3-year-old. Now, do you think if you were to put a 3-year-old into a factory farm, this is very unethical, by the way. This conversation is very it's pushing it to the extremes. And I'm fully aware that this is pushing it to the other side, to human side completely. But if you were to have that 3-year-old lined up and, for example, that their friends or their family was in front of them and that child watched their friend being killed, would you still agree with it, even in the fact of like we're taking away the actual belief system that humans are
Wait,
better
so we're
than animals?
saying that this is a human getting
A
slaughtered.
human getting slaughtered. But we're just saying this because pigs apparently have the same intelligence level as a 3-year-old. Now, I believe this personally that they do have the same intelligence level, and there have been studies to back it up. However, this is a completely theoretical argument, and I do not think that it should ever be pushed to the human side. But I just want to know what your opinion is on it. So if you were to have the 3-year-olds lined up walking down the line, and the front one gets killed and the others can see.
But it has just been put to a human side.
Yes, but do you think that that would be okay? Because we're just saying that pigs have the intelligence of a 3-year-old.
But I don't agree with that with the animals either.
Sorry, say that again?
The friends getting killed.
We lost you.
I don't think that the animals should see each other dying. I don't really agree with any slaughter way. I don't agree with like the stunning. I definitely don't agree with the halal way of just hanging them upside down and cutting the throats open. But what I don't know, it is what it is, isn't it? Like the difference between pigs and 3-year-olds is you can't slice up 3-year-olds and put them in containers and put them on a shelf and people will buy them and eat them. Like there is an actual industry.
Yes, but the industry that we have created for animals is because of humans. So there are people out there, and I'm never agreeing with anything these people do. They're cannibals, they're horrible people, they're murderers, everything else. But if someone was to go and do that to a child and to cut them up and to eat them and to still have it function like a food chain, basically, they would slaughter them, they would eat them, there'd be no wastage, no byproducts, anything like that. They would eat the meat and that's it. That's how they sustained their life. Does that make it right? Because they're making sure that they eat the animal and it isn't going to waste, or they're making sure they eat the child and it isn't going to waste? Where do we draw the line between...
This is when vegans push things too far.
Why is it too far though?
Because we're talking about a 3-year-old child getting mutilated and
like,
eaten.
If you talk about supply and demand of chickens, like how many chickens do you need to kill a day to do all the KFCs, all the Sunday dinners, all the cars?
I'm talking about everywhere. You're arguing against me for one. I'm saying that this is one child. You're arguing against me for one child versus millions and billions of animals. So is that one child's life worth more than a million animals?
Yes.
So you're telling me that if there was this is all theoretical, this isn't my actual belief. I fully know that humans should be treated better than animals. But at the same time, I choose to be vegan because I believe that the animals should have rights too.
Where we're saying about this one child, this is
okay, put it into a forest fire.
No, you've asked this question.
Put it in.
With this one child, is this compared to these billion animals? This one child is going to cause so much effect on its whole family. The mental health of this effect of this whole family, of this child getting mutilated by a psychopath.
Okay, say that they're an orphan. Say that they don't have family. Say that they don't have any family. Does it make it a difference? Does that change that child to you because they don't have any family to miss them?
Yeah.
Does it? So if they were an orphan and they were in foster care, or they were just in a child's home, in a children's home, and we used a children's home as an example for a factory farm, because that child had no one that cared about it and no family.
But
it make it okay?
It would have people who cared about it.
But there are children out there that don't have parents that care for them and aren't yet in the foster system or adopted or in child homes, that are in abusive families that are still being beaten or abused or anything like that. Do you think it'd be okay? Okay, we'll serve up that child then, because no one cares about it.
Serving up children.
But does that make it okay?
Are we talking about pigs or?
I have no idea what we've moved on to right now.
The reason I brought it up is
we've moved on to the purge currently.
She says that if the child.
Sure, during the middle of that, I heard, let's imagine a forest fire.
Yeah. So that was my next thing. If we imagine the Australian bushfires, there's one child stuck in the middle of the forest fire. They're in the middle of a forest. They're a missing child. They're lost for whatever reason or another. It actually has happened that a child has gone missing during a forest fire. So you've got a child in the middle of this forest. Now, surrounding this forest is billions and billions of animals, like koalas, kangaroos, everything like that. Do the firefighters run past all the animals and ignore them to get straight to that child? Or do you save the animals as well?
They save the child.
But why?
Yeah, human life's priority, isn't it, in that
Yeah.
situation usually?
But where did that come from? Where did we all of a sudden decide that humans are a priority to animals? Who had that right to make that decision if
Humans
God
believe
made
we're a
everyone
superior
equal?
race.
Because a koala is going to live, I can't remember the life expectancy for a koala, but for example, a koala is going to live for 5 years, and this child could live for 50 years and find a cure for 7 diseases that could save generations of lives, could cure, I don't know, MS, certain.
Okay, then put it this way. Ignore the animal side. Okay, go
No,
back.
that
Go
is a
away.
really
from-
Yeah,
good
that is a really good point.
reply.
But go away from the animals completely. Okay, put it in the same situation as you've got a little old man stuck in there with them. Do you save the little old man because he or do you save the child? He could still, in his last years of
The
life,
child.
create a cure for cancer.
The
He could be a top
child.
scientist. That child could die
It
getting
sounds
hit by
like
a
you're
bus the
saying
next
that
day.
humans are only worth saving because they might be useful to society.
Yeah, you're literally only saying human life is only relevant when they are an addition to society.
To be useful.
Yeah. So instead of having a child in there, you put a drug addict or a paedophile or a rapist. Does it mean that we should run past the animals still and go and save that person because they're human? Or does it mean that we shouldn't save them? They're a known offender of some kind. They have all of this, there's a law case behind them, but they're hunting this person down. They're stuck in the middle of a forest fire. Do you go in and save them, or do you save the animals?
They actually do, don't they? There's a case of someone who was shooting at police from a rooftop, and halfway through they got him like a McDonald's or something because they couldn't let him starve.
Yeah.
Let it be on them or something like that.
Because of the backlash from it.
But they let a guy who was on top of McDonald's go into McDonald's and eat.
No, they had to get him food, even though he was a criminal.
Yeah, they brought him food, even though he was shooting at the police.
That's crazy.
Yep, but that is because human life is valued over everything else.
That is crazy. But that's
Humans believe that we're the superior race, though. Like, we can talk and build things, and animals can't. So we need to kind of
Okay,
use
so
them
this
to sustain our life.
what's
in
it
general.
what's it called? What's it called? Human
intelligence?
no, the thing that protects humans.
Human rights.
Yeah, human rights.
Rights.
That's why they fed him.
Yeah, but also, do you think that a person known to be a murderer or someone that's committed a crime, do you think that person should be entitled to their human rights?
No.
Because they've taken the human rights away from another living being.
But that's why in different countries they deal with it differently.
Yeah. But I was watching, anyway, just to go completely off topic, because this can get as heated as anything, talking about anything to do with animals or veganism and stuff like that. And I fully understand people have different beliefs. And like I say, I'm never going to push it onto anybody. You do what you do. But I watched a video earlier of a group of monkeys. They'd put the food out for them because they were starving. I can't remember what it was.
Thailand.
Yeah, they put food out for them because they were starving.
Aww.
Because obviously the tourists aren't visiting during the coronavirus. And the monkeys all came in, and it was like they took one piece each. Can you imagine doing that with humans and putting toilet rolls in front of them?
Yeah.
Do you think they would take one toilet roll?
You've seen it on
Exactly.
You know,
But
online.
it was so nice. The monkeys ran in, they grabbed one, and they went. That was it. They didn't try and grab them all. They didn't try and steal them all, and they just took one to feed themselves.
I'm
and
so
that
happy
was
they've
it.
done that.
But yet, you imagine doing that with humans,
Yeah.
and yet we're just selfish. We are a selfish race.
What about if you did it with lions? What other animals apart from monkeys you saw today would act in that way? You think? I think if you put one piece of meat between lions, or even if you put multiple pieces of meat between lions or whatever, they'd still all fight.
See,
You say that, but
lions
they're
work in a pack, so the lionesses hunt the meat, and then they bring it back.
And they do share.
They share.
They
That's
do
how
share.
it works. So with wolves, they work in that way. They hunt and then bring it back to the pack.
They won't ever let one of their members
No, they
starve.
do. They have a Amiga wolf, and that one's at the back of the pack who just follows because it's known as the runt of the litter, basically.
Yeah.
If you speak about it in puppy terms. So there's always one that is left behind. But it does work like that in the animal kingdom.
But I swear they would still get fed. They would still get the scraps that were left over. They would still get something. They wouldn't just have nothing.
They would try. but
Yeah.
there would always be a wolf who would try attack it. But it's like that in the animal kingdom. It's survival of the fittest. That's how it works.
Yeah, but that's like with humans, we're one step worse, aren't we? Because we don't even leave any left over for the last one.
Well, that's where the government's had to step
And
in.
that's
Why
all
is
of
it
us.
not survival of the fittest for humans? Like, why do we try and save weak people? Like, I know it's controversial, but let's go there. Why are we trying to save all the people who get the virus if it's survival of the fittest?
Because I suppose it comes down to ethics.
Well, it's human rights, isn't it?
No, you don't have to save anyone. You don't have to.
What about if a paedophile got coronavirus? A convicted paedophile on the sex offenders register catches coronavirus. You're saying we shouldn't save them, aren't you? With your forest fire example.
Well, yeah, I don't think they should get medical help.
Who are you to decide who gets the help and who doesn't, though? This is the problem, isn't it? Like, someone's got to be in charge of.
Because they've already
decisions
made
like
that own fate for themselves. They've already decided their path. They've already decided that they're going to commit a crime. They've already decided to go against social norms, social expectations, so social values, and they've already decided to go against it. So how can we now turn around after they've made the choice themselves and go, okay, well, we'll help you anyway?
There was a news article today. Apparently, a load of prisoners from New York have been released early. And in Iran last week, I think 75,000
In Italy, they
prisoners
did
were
as well.
released early.
In Italy, they actually escaped. The prisoners escaped.
Escaped
Yeah.
because
On
officers
the
aren't
there
at
was-
work.
Yeah,
or-
because there was no officers to stop them. There was no officers to stop them. And they escaped from a prison in Italy.
Oh my god. So there's no officers feeding them or anything.
Well, they would still have to because of human rights. They'd have to figure out a way.
What about animals in zoos? Do you think zoos are still being? Zoos are definitely being still the animals. All the people who work in zoos will still be feeding the animals, definitely.
I hope so.
There was even a guy, he's called Rocky Kanakis, okay, and he's a YouTuber, and he does like different dog program things, like working with rescues. He actually slept overnight in an animal shelter.
Aww.
He actually slept overnight in the animal shelter to raise money for them, to help them keep going through the disaster. And he's done loads of things. Like,
Yeah.
if anyone, I really do like him on YouTube. He's a good egg. Like, he really is. He's fully supportive of anyone that wants to do anything, and he does everything he can to help these dogs and these animals. And they've even got an oldies club or something.
What, for the dogs?
For the dogs. So
Aw.
any dog that can't get rescued, they try to rescue as many as they can, but obviously it is an impossible task that does happen.
Yeah.
But they try to rescue as many little old dogs as they can, but they get to go to the retirement home, so they don't have to go through being adopted and sent back because of their age.
Yeah.
So they actually get sent to this little retirement home, and they get to all live out together and just spend their days there, sort of thing, with no sort of, like, there's humans there to sort of interact with them and love them, but they don't have to go from family to family.
That's so nice.
But it's like all of there was a thing, I can't remember the article exactly, but there was a thing from Romania or somewhere like that they were doing a program to euthanize a lot of animals because of this virus.
Seriously?
Yeah, my friend was fighting against it because she actually does the, like, what's it called, like rescue,
Program?
no, neutering and spaying campaigns.
Okay.
She does like neutering and spaying campaigns, and she was sort of posting about it and stuff, and it's just so horrible. Like, I know that some of it can be necessary because of the overpopulation and stuff like that, but she says at the same time, why now? We haven't done anything for so long to try and help.
Well, I
this.
know from travelling the amount of strays abroad, and it's such a sad sight to see, and the amount of
Didn't you
fleas.
get one adopted?
Yes. He's called Broom.
Is it?
Yeah, because the guy couldn't say brown, so he called him Broom. But yeah, the amount of strays, but skinny, and all the fleas and infections they've got is so sad. But they're so happy.
Yeah.
They're so happy. It's really sweet.
Even in this country, though, like during the Boris announcement yesterday, there was someone in the audience who was asking a question about charity. They said that the income of charities is down 40% already in the last month because they're not doing the fundraisers and stuff.
Yeah.
If you imagine how many people are getting laid off work at the moment and just cancelling all the subscriptions like RSPCA and
Yeah.
all them kind of ones.
And because door to door
You know, like
fundraisers can't get there anymore, not allowed.
yeah. So that's another worrying thing. Like all companies like the NSPCC, RSPCA, Cancer Research UK, and all them kind of companies won't be doing the things that they were normally doing. Like, so
What
that's
was
gonna have a knock-on
Boris's
effect with
response
chemicals.
to the charities?
So
Sorry?
what was Boris's response to the charities?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but it was to do with looking into figures and trying to free up money and things like that.
Okay.
Well, I know the actual.
But yeah,
I was
it's
going
like
on about it a couple of days
like the
ago,
self-employed thing.
but the
Sorry?
I was going on about it a couple of days ago that they were going to open up the private hospitals. They were going to open up the private healthcare, and they're saying that they're going to put they're going to take 22,000 or something beds or 8,000 beds or something like
Ventilators?
Ventilators as well. I think it was 2,000 or something like
Yeah.
that. Ventilators, and they're all
We
going to put
talk
it
a lot
in.
of fake news on this.
And I just can't remember the numbers, to be honest.
Don't
but
take our word on anything
I think
we
said,
say.
yeah. But yeah, they were putting money into the private healthcare so that we don't actually have to fund it ourselves. But we can go to a private hospital and get help.
Brilliant. That's amazing.
Is that actually true though? Like, if you turn up at Bupa, are they going to let you in?
I don't know if it'll work that way, but I think that they're going to just either transfer some NHS staff over to the private hospitals and run it that way. And so that, say, for example, that you turn up to a hospital within London, for example, what's a really well-known Elizabeth Hospital or something, Queen Elizabeth Hospital. St Thomas's. Let's use that one. So if you turn up to St Thomas's and you've got coronavirus or an illness or anything like that, you can then be transferred to the other hospital.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't work as necessarily you turn up at the doors and you get help, but the people that are already at the hospitals
or need
life
help
support could be transferred over to a different hospital, or the ambulance would be redirected.
Yeah.
So I think it would work that way.
At least they're doing something about it. We're not just getting told now that there's no beds, there's no ventilators, everyone panic.
They're actually trying to come up with a solution. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, this is like, did I send you that graph yesterday that I saw?
Yeah, about how people are spreading it and everything. And
no, not the spreading one. The one that's got the graph of
death toll.
Every country that having outbreaks and how many people have died.
Yeah.
How long it's taken people to die and stuff like that. The Chinese one is kind of leveling out, and us, America and France, are kind of rocketing at the moment.
And
we're not that far off it.
Sorry, say that again.
So we're really not that far off Italy.
Yeah.
I'll forward it to you now, just see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, send it again. She'll get it up on her phone. But that's what we said though. When we first started this chat, like 5 days ago, or whatever it is, when we first started this chat, we were saying, why haven't we reacted sooner and followed in their footsteps, basically, and got more help quicker and got more people to stay in their houses quicker, and instead of waiting a week to shut the schools and blah blah blah. But now we're actually seeing how quickly we're catching up.
Yeah, I don't think people have realised, like, including me, how serious it actually is, and you know, just kind of, because there's been so many of these before that you kind of just hear about and read about on Facebook. It doesn't really come near you, but this time it's a bit different, isn't it? It's like affecting everyone.
Well, I think people were just naive to it, to be honest, at the start. I think people were really naive that they thought that, oh, I won't get affected. Yeah. It won't affect us. We won't end up in quarantine.
Yeah.
And yet here we are.
Yeah.
And I think so many people were stupid last night. I saw so many people on Facebook posting that they were going out with their friends and stuff like that. One last hurrah and all this. And it's just ridiculous.
Well, it'll be interesting to see in 7 days if there will be a
spike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you what you thought about the people that went out last night.
Yeah, I think there's going to be I think there will be a spike.
Yeah. 100%.
I think there will in about 7 days, roughly, or 14 days, if that's how long it takes for it to develop. I think there'll be a spike in cases. But I think there was a spike in cases today for Italy. I think they did. I don't know for certain if this is the correct numbers or if this is just an article that's been posted online that's completely made up. But as far as I'm aware, it should be the fact that I forgot what I was saying now. There was
Death toll.
800 people in one day. 800
Yeah.
people in one day in Italy.
Well, there was 6 deaths just yesterday in a local London hospital.
And so more and more people are being added to the death toll.
Yeah. There you go. Hang on.
We've just got the message through.
Yeah, it's a shame you can't put this up on the screen, isn't it, really? We'll have to work out how to do this in future so that we can share all the things that we're actually talking about. But yeah, if you look at the Chinese one...
If anyone does want to search it, the title of it is actually Coronavirus Deaths in Italy and Spain are increasing much more rapidly than they did in China. So you might be able to search that if you do want to. It looks like down the bottom, it was dated March 19th. And it was a source from the analysis of Johns Hopkins University. So maybe you could actually have a look and see if you could see that picture as well as us. But it's just crazy that how much we're catching up and how much we're actually seeing that we're going to be the same level in maybe even tomorrow, maybe in 5 days' time. Who knows?
Yeah.
It could all happen like that. Well, we're going to quickly round up on YouTube quickly as we've just been posting for about an hour now.
Yeah,
I think
we're going to keep it 60
we're going to try
minutes.
to keep it around about an hour. So if anyone is watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please do hit that
If
subscribe
anyone,
button.
thanks Chrissy B and Barry.
If anyone does want to hit that subscribe button and give us a follow, more than welcome to. We'll be chatting crap a lot more this week. Stuck in quarantine, I think.
Trying to get a second chair.
Yeah, trying to get a second chair so that I can be comfy once again because we've had to switch. But thank you for everybody that has been watching, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Yeah.
This has been Katie
And Nicole.
and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.